Hey everyone, Colin here. Did you survive the spring healthcare conference season? Because wow, between Vive, HIMSS, Swaay.Health Live 25, NESHCO, Mars, BBHIC, ECW's event, and eHealth, I have been on the road a lot. My suitcase barely has had time to cool off. But now that I've actually had a minute to catch my breath, and to put away all the conference swag that I collected, kudos still to the AMSIV Bluetooth speaker, I just wanted to hit pause and reflect on the important themes that emerged across all of those events. So after hitting more than a dozen conferences in the first half of 2025, here are the 5 healthcare conference trends that I believe every marketer needs to know. Oh, and you'll want to stick around to the very end because I have one bonus trend that caught me completely by surprise. Let's get to it.
Swaay.Health. Trend number 1.
Fewer providers in attendance. I couldn't verify this with every conference, and there was nothing official from any of the organizers, but I did have a lot of conversations with exhibitors, organizers, off the record of course, and the providers who did attend these conferences, and they all told me the same thing. There are fewer people from provider organizations who were registered and who attended the conferences. Now, at some of the larger events that I attended, it would be normal to see like 3 or 10 people from the same organization at the event. But this spring, it was just 1 or 2 at the event instead. And this jives with the information that we're hearing from CIOs and other healthcare executives. Budgets are tight, and sending people to a conference is considered a luxury these days. I've also heard from a few provider friends that they've been told that the only way that they're gonna get approval to go to an event is if they are speaking or on a panel. Many have also told me that it's not a good look if their directors, VPs, and C-level executives go to a conference and then a few weeks later they have to lay off or furlough part of their team. So I expect this trend to be more pronounced in the fall. What does this mean for healthcare marketers? Well, it means that you will have to work even harder to connect with providers at conferences. It means you'll have to do more than just have a great booth and a dinner event.
Trend number 2.
Healthcare executives are flying in and flying out. This is kind of related to the prior trend. This spring, I noticed that more and more provider executives were just at the conference for the day that they were speaking, and were either flying home that evening or early the next day. Now, there wasn't a lot of consistency as to why this was happening, but it was definitely happening. Some of them told me that they were just too busy to be away from their offices for that much time. I mean, it is a lot to expect someone to be away 3 or 4 days. It may also have been that these executives were just being financially prudent. Or it may simply be that they don't find value at being at these events for more than a day. Now, because of this, I expect vendor executives to be mirroring this trend in the fall. After all, if provider executives aren't there, then there's less incentive for vendor executives to be at the event for the entire time too. So what does this mean for healthcare marketers? Well, it means that you really have to look at the agenda and send people to those sessions where executives are speaking, because that may be the only time you get to see them. Also, if you're planning an evening event, you will have to up your game and verify that the executive that you want to invite will actually be around.
Trend number 3.
Smaller booths. Whether it was because of budgets or because companies are not seeing the ROI from conferences like they used to, but there was a clear trend this spring to smaller booths. This was most evident at HIMSS and Vive. Epic, for example, had a much smaller footprint than usual. Same with Salesforce and Oracle Health. Now, I actually think this trend is a good thing. To me, mega booths are a relic of the meaningful use era. It's 2025 now, and there are just better ways to have a noticeable presence than just having a large booth. To me, as long as you have enough room for what you want to do at your booth, that's all you need. Spend your marketing dollars instead on other things at the conference, like more staff, having a bigger social event, or even on other conference sponsorships.
Trend number 4.
Food as the booth attraction. Although there were still claw games and magicians and even a few golf simulators at the various spring conferences, the vast majority of exhibitors used food as their booth attraction. And to me, this makes a lot of practical sense. It's hard to get good coffee at conferences. There is never enough water, and attendees are always looking for good snacks, healthy and not so healthy. Okay, maybe it's just me always looking for snacks. But when you were at these conferences, I noticed that there were always lines at the booths that had food stations, which is proof enough to me that it works. Plus, there's the added bonus that your own team will be spending less money buying their own expensive coffees and snacks, since they will have access to it at your booth.
Trend number 5.
Solid conference attendance. Now, despite my earlier comment about fewer providers in attendance, overall the spring 2025 healthcare conference circuit felt quite full. The hallways at HIMSS and Vive were both crowded, and it felt good. The exhibit halls were buzzing. The sessions were full, even the morning breakfast ones. Now, the official attendance numbers are still down from pre-pandemic levels, but they're generally higher than in prior years. I think this is because in-person events are what people want in healthcare. People crave connection with peers, and I think people are tired of learning from videos and webinars. Being in a room and learning from a real person at the front just feels better. Plus, as more and more AI slop creeps into digital marketing, I think that audiences in healthcare will increasingly look at conferences as social proof of true thought leadership. After all, anyone can pump out great sounding articles now, but you can't AI your way out of a live Q&A session with an audience. Now, as the backlash against AI-generated content gains more momentum, I think more and more in-person conferences will reap the benefits.
Bonus trend.
Less media on site. This was an unexpected trend. At every conference I attended, I noticed fewer media outlets on site and even fewer healthcare media journalists. I'm not sure what the reason for this is. Maybe it's all the cutbacks happening in media in general, and maybe that's, they're not sending as many people to conferences. Or maybe the conferences that we attend just aren't as popular anymore with mainstream audiences. But this trend really took me by surprise. I used to go to the press areas and media rooms and see a whole bunch of media peers. Now I see fewer and fewer of them for the entire conference. And I see more freelance reporters who are local to where the event is being held and who are there on assignment for a mainstream outlet. What does this mean for healthcare PR folks? Well, it means that you have to work even harder to get media attention at conferences. You really have to do your homework to know who is coming and who is going to be virtual. It also means that you will have to do more than just offer up an executive to a media outlet, because they're likely to be swamped with pitches because there are fewer of them. You need to help that executive stand out. If they're just going to regurgitate what's in the press release, that's not going to make for a good story. A contrarian view, a willingness to make a bold statement, or have a customer join them at an interview, all of those will help you stand out. So there you have it, the 5 big trends from the spring conferences and one surprising one that every marketer should have on their radar. The bottom line, anyone who's in healthcare marketing or healthcare PR is going to have to work a little bit harder in the fall to make conferences worth it. Make sure you attend the sessions where executives are speaking. Maximize your booth space. Consider food as your giveaway, and spend a bit more time personalizing your press pitches. Do that and you will see a very good ROI on your fall conference spend. And hey, if you're heading to any fall events, let's connect. I'll be there in the exhibit halls and the sessions, likely with conference snacks in hand. And if you found this video helpful, please share it and hit subscribe for more recaps, interviews, and real talk from the front lines of healthcare marketing. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.